I mean, I also said when this thing happened, I also said कि ऐसा तो हमारे साथ कश्मीर में भी नहीं हुआ था. So are we to derive that Kashmir is in a better state than Bengal? But if he's scared, what do you do? And he's obviously scared because of the things that he said. I thought he would have more courage, but I was wrong. So there has been no disrespect for him, and whatever he's claiming in his whatever notices that he's been sending us is all false.
Hello and welcome to News 18 Showsha. My name is Chirag, Sehgal, and joining me today is actress Pallavi Joshi, who's currently gearing up for the release of the Bengal Files. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
You know, the film has been making headlines for several reasons. To begin with, I want you to explain to the viewers what is it that is depicted in the film.
So the film basically gives us a piece of history which was until now unknown to us. Not a lot of people know that when the partition of India happened, everyone knows about the Punjab partition, of course, because we've seen that those images in a lot of movies. But the real playground, so to say, was West Bengal. Not West Bengal, was Bengal as a state. And the divide and rule policy that the British started was actually first implemented in the state of Bengal. When they divided Bengal on the reasons of demography, where they divided it into East and West Bengal, East for Indian Muslims and West for Indian Hindus. It was only that time that there was a huge cultural renaissance that came about in Bengal, and they had to unify Bengal once again. But unfortunately, when that happened a few years later, the demand for Pakistan started. It came from the headquarters of Muhammad Ali Jinnah. And then there was this, obviously it was going to be divided from both sides of India. One part was going to become East Pakistan, while the other was West Pakistan. And in East Pakistan, Muhammad Ali Jinnah had his mindset that he wanted Kolkata, which was, as it was called back then, at any costs. And they wanted to somehow, because the Hindus were in majority in Kolkata, they somehow wanted to change the demography and make sure that there are more Muslims in that place, so that India and the Indian leaders will be compelled to give that part to Pakistan, East Pakistan. So they called for a very, very horrible, vicious kind of a pogrom they started, which was called the Direct Action Day. And it was called on the 16th of August, 1946. And such huge number of annihilation of Hindus started at that time. They were being butchered in the thousands. And it was after about 2 days of massive killings, there emerged a hero called Gopal Patha, who managed to retaliate and save Kolkata from becoming a part of East Pakistan.
But once again, the film has been called a propaganda movie. How do you react to this allegation?
I don't even hear it anymore, really, because it is now, you know, when a child doesn't get his toy, he keeps crying for it, and sometimes you just have to ignore until the child forgets about it. I mean, that is how I treat this whole situation, because kab tak react karenge na to a falsehood.
But one of the reasons that for which the film has also sparked controversy is the portrayal of Mr. Gopal. His grandson filed a complaint. Did you or Mr. Agniotri speak to him, as in the grandson?
Well, we had tried to earlier. This has been happening for some time since our research began. But his allegation is that we have, this film is based on Gopal Patha, which is wrong, first of all. Gopal Patha's character only comes in one sequence of the Direct Action Day. And when he comes on the screen, he emerges a hero, which he was. So there has been no disrespect for him, and whatever he's claiming in his whatever notices that he's been sending us is all false, and we have evidences that once the film releases, everyone will know what is what.
But whenever there's a film like this in making, I'm sure there's a lot of research that goes behind. How do you and Mr. Agniotri and the entire team work on that research?
So it is a very exhaustive process for us. And I have been talking about this. Research-based project doesn't mean that you read a few articles and then you say कि हमें ये इस source से मिला है. It doesn't mean that. It means that you go deep. You go through books, you go through articles, you go through newspapers, you go through magazines, you go through live interviews, and when all throughout one truth emerges, which everybody has confirmed, only then you should accept that as the truth. It has to be corroborated from all the sides, Otherwise, one person's thought can be anything. I mean, that could be his point of view. And that it's not correct on our part as responsible filmmakers to be saying that, oh, this is history. We cannot be sure about it. So when it comes from all the sources, then that incident or that things that people have said, that script can be taken as the truth, and that's how we keep it aside, and that's how we keep shortlisting whatever can go in the film.
But we also, what happened in Calcutta recently, Mr. Agnihotri said in one of his interviews that an incident like this wasn't possible without the direct involvement of the top authorities. Do you agree?
Of course I agree. It is, I mean, I also said when this thing happened, I also said कि ऐसा तो हमारे साथ कश्मीर में भी नहीं हुआ था. So are we to derive that Kashmir is in a better state than Bengal? I'm an actor. I'm an artist. Forget an actor. I'm an artist. That is the root. And you cannot curb my voice. Whose responsibility am I? I'm the state's responsibility. Throughout in our civilization, all the artists have been patronized by the kings. So now, if you are in the place of power, if you are the state, it's your responsibility to look after the art and artists. And what are you doing? You're coming and stopping the trailer of my film, which is not even released yet. And if I say that democracy is dead in Bengal, how am I wrong? You're curbing my freedom of expression.
So do you see this as a lack of support from the West Bengal government?
100% lack of support. My God, this support to chodiye, they were on the mode of attack. The police was not even bothered about what was happening there. I'm sure you've seen the visuals. There were so many women journalists there. They were also trying to do their job, and everybody gets into a frenzy. A couple of girls got hurt there.
Did you feel helpless during that time?
Helpless? I was angry. I was seething with anger that time. I wanted to lash out at someone. I was so angry. And the police, instead of protecting those girls and looking after them or seeing how uncomfortable I was, Vivek actually, physically held me and took me out of that place. But instead of helping us, they were more interested in stopping the trailer. This is what the authorities there are doing, the police and the government. So what kind of protection are you giving to your citizens in that state?
But amid all this, Swastha Chatterjee has also distanced himself from the controversy. He said that he wasn't aware of the entire story when he was reached out for the film. Do you think that, especially at this time, for an actor like him who hails from Bengal, he should have even supported the film even more, since it's his movie and the story revolves around the state?
Of course. But if he's scared, what do you do? And he's obviously scared because of the things that he said. I thought he would have more courage, but I was wrong.
But does an incident like this, is it disheartening for the filmmakers?
Of course it is. Of course it is. I mean, if you've been very passionate about your project, you've engaged an actor, you've hired him for his professional capacity. You respect him as an actor. You respect him for all the body of work that he's done. He comes from an actor family. His father was such a well-known actor. We spoke about the politics of Bengal. You give him a bound script. You tell him that it's called the Delhi Files. Bengal chapter is the name of the movie. And we are thinking of changing it to Bengal Files, but we'll see. But this is the working title.
But he was informed about the plot.
Of course.
We often see Mr. Agnihotri posting on social media, sharing on social media his views. Of course, there's dissent and there are people supporting him. At home, what is the conversation like between you and him? Do you discuss all of this dissent?
We do sometimes, but The thing is, the flip side of working together is that the work never stops. So we are constantly talking about work. But social media is something that we try to keep out of our lives because I don't like to discuss social media at home. I don't even like Vivek playing anything on social media at home. Sometimes when, he's sitting down and watching something on his Instagram, all three of us gang up against him and we're like, we're going to throw your phone in the bin now, you spend time with us. So no, we don't have a lot of conversations, but yes, if it's relevant to the film and to our work, then we have to discuss it.
But does anybody of you get bothered by it?
By the negativity, you mean?
Yes.
No. No. Because we've learned not to let it bother us anymore. It all depends on what you focus on in life. If I focus on the negativity, then I will not be able to move forward and do my work. And I want to keep working. I want to keep making good movies, the movies that I like to make and the movies which I think are required at this point in time. Both of us, we consider ourselves, we are the children of this country and we owe something to our motherland. If we cannot physically be at the borders holding a gun and saving our country from the enemies, but we can certainly do something in our own work. So if we are not military soldiers, we will be creative soldiers and sing the glory of our motherland.
You have been a part of several films which revolve around political issues. Mr. Agnihotri has worked on several such films. Does the world of politics fantasize either you or Vivek?
I don't like the world of politics.
No?
No. I understand it very well.
Yeah.
But I don't like to become a part of it. I don't like to dabble in it. For me, art is more important. If you're making political movies, then you have to understand politics. Otherwise, you cannot make those movies. But personally getting involved in the political scenario of the country and working for some party, I don't think it's anything different from doing a corporate job. Then you have to listen to what your boss says.
Since you mentioned art is more important to you, one of the films that recently grabbed attention was Chiranjeevi Hanuman. I mean, it has not been released yet, but it's an AI-generated film. Several filmmakers expressed disappointment, arguing, is AI taking over creativity? As somebody who has been a part of this industry for several years now, how do you see this constant tussle now between creativity and AI taking over?
But personally, I'll tell you, AI scares me a bit. And I'm sure my job is going to go away very soon.
Even actors?
Yeah, can't you see the real life images? I mean, Will Smith eating whatever noodles or what was that? You actually thought it was him. So if it's going to be so real, then what do they're just going to pay us to use our face and AI is going to act for us. So it's scary, that thought is really scary. Also, what is scary is that people believe that it's
true.
It's the actor. But so many people actually believed it was Will Smith when they saw that video. So what do you say? The thin line which divided reality and fiction or reality and animation is now gone completely. So it's scary. It can be used for a lot of wrong reasons. At the same time, the technology of AI can be used so wonderfully for the betterment of humankind in general. Scientifically, it can be used very well. Technologically, it can be used very well. But there has to be someone who can keep AI within its limits so that it's not misused.
But a film which is completely AI generated, does that add an element of insecurity in the industry?
It should, no? I think. When there are actors who can play the parts and with a little use of VFX, if the same thing can be done using real people, why use AI? I'm not against the use of AI. I'm sure we should explore that also in some films. But if that becomes so accessible and affordable, then where will the actors go? Where will our fight choreographers go? Where will our musicians go? There's a music band also now, AI music band. So if every kind of creative art form is going to die and AI is going to take over, then it won't be a real world anymore. It will just be virtual reality around us. Then usme kya jeena hai? Then you're living in in a world of video game.
Yes. On that note, thank you so much for joining us. Lovely talking to you. All the best.
Thank you, Chirag.